Hi, Kyo listeners. Let's learn Sumo. I'm Clayton. Welcome to the podcast. You can join me on X and Instagram and even YouTube, where this is restreamed in audio, and you'll find some video episodes. You can also check out the playlist for former lessons that are there as well. More to come, so you can drop me a message or a comment on any of those platforms. I like to interact with everybody. If you like my content, you can donate to my Kimboshi fund, help pay for a few of the subscriptions that keep the channel going. The Buy Me a Coffee link is in the comments, or you can just enjoy the podcast. Trivia for today: the lower division wrestlers, basically everyone from Makushita down to Jonakuchi, they all don't travel to the Kokugikan Stadium in Tokyo by car. They actually take the train like everybody else to get to the stadium. Some even travel from their stables in Chiba, and even further north in the case of Nishinoseki's stable, where Onosato is. It's a fair way away. There was a big power outage the other day in Tokyo, so some wrestlers were quite late as the trains failed. They can actually contact the JSA by phone before they arrive and let them know they're going to be late, and the JSA will delay their fight for them. They even get a late note from the station train master to tell them that the train was late. So on to the day 6 and 7 of the Hatsu Basho live from Tokyo. We left day 5 with Abi and Oshoma in the lead at 5 wins apiece. Day 6, Abi faced Asakoryu, the little pocket rocket. Abi dealt with him fairly easily, just blasted him off the ring. 6 wins. Day 7, Abi and the former Sekawake, I should say, faced Asaniyama, the former Ozeki. Didn't go so well for Abi. Abi tried to throw his usual Nodowa big neck thrust off the tachiai, which Asaniyama absorbed fairly easily. They started thrusting at each other before Asaniyama got a pull down and Abi hit the dirt. First loss for Abi, 6-1, 5-2 for Asaniyama, going okay down the bottom of the Bansuke there on his return to Makuchi. Oshoma at Magashura 7, he faced Tsurunumi. Good touchy eyes. Oshoma got hold of Tsurunumi's arm, pulls him to the bales. He lost it. Tsurunumi thrust back. Oshoma tried for the arm again, but he just couldn't hang on to it. And Tsurunumi chased Oshoma to the bales, pushed him over as Tsurunumi goes down forward. There was a mono-e. The Gumbai did go to Tsurunumi, but Gumbai Dori, Tsurunumi holds the win. Day 7, Oshoma faced Gonayama. Bit of a Mata false start, but Gonayama just employed power to push Oshoma back to the bales off the tachiai, and Oshoma tried to resist, but Gonayama, he just pushed him over. Oshidashi, a big win there for Gonayama. 5-2, Oshoma fades a little bit. Yokozuna Hoshoryu, he faced Takanosho on day 6. It was a pretty good tachiai as Takanosho chased Hoshoryu back. Hoshoryu retreated, got a fairly easy slap down on Hataki Komi on Takanosho. That got him to 5-1. Day 7, however, Hoshoryu didn't have it so easy. He faced Hakano Fuji, formerly Haku Oho. News is that Hakano Fuji didn't lose just one tooth the other day, but 2 teeth in the back of his mouth. He did say he can still chew, but he's got a few dentist visits coming for him. Hoshoryu didn't come out of this bout unscathed either. Good touchy eyes. Hakano Fuji fired into the belt of Hoshoryu. Hoshoryu doesn't get the belt, but he changed to an inside body grip under the armpit of Hakano Fuji. Haku, he tries to push him, but Hoshoryu, he forces him to the edge and then turned him over using that armpit leverage. They both went over at the bales, totally upturned. Hoshoryu puts his hand down at the very last moment as he face plants into the dirt, but as he does, Hakano Fuji goes airborne off his feet as he is turned over. Interestingly, the Gunbai goes to the Yokozuna. Hoshoryu almost put his hand down earlier, but he withdrew it. Training and instinct, of course. But once he had no choice, he was going to plow down into the dirt. He put his hand down just as Hakano Fuji went airborne. So the Gunbai went to Hoshoryu. There was a mono-e. Apparently Hakano Fuji thought he'd won that, and he was a bit put out that they actually gave the Gunbai to Hoshoryu. Anyway, the judges judged that they hit together as Hoshoryu put his hand down. Hakano Fuji was dead body Shinatai, unrecoverable, because he was airborne at the time. So they decided the safest thing to do was Tori Naoshi. I think that was fairly fair for that one. It was a pretty close effort. There's a good touchy-eye in the second match as they both got a hand on the belt. Hoshoryu has a right outside and pivots and tries to pull Hakano Fuji over his hip. Hakano Fuji's got pretty good balance. He goes onto one leg, but he keeps shuffling around with that balance. And as Hoshoryu pulled Hakano Fuji around, gets him to the bales and forces him over. They both go down over the bales. Hakano Fuji goes down backwards. Hoshoryu gets the gunbai and takes the win. He gets up, he's got a bit of blood on his forehead there, and it looks like he's actually scalped himself a little bit and taken a little bit of hair off his hairline. I think he saw it back in the rooms. He wasn't so happy about that. Anyway, that seems to be the case. I still disagree on the call on Ura on Shinatai, but that one I think is pretty fair. Hoshoryu 6-1, Hakano Fuji 4-3. Yokozuna Onosato, he faced former Sekiwake Wakataka Kage. Two big matas by Wakataka Kage on day 6. Big touchy-eye, Wakataka Kage defended the drive from Onosato. They locked up arms. Wakataka Kage tries to drive forward. Onosato retreated and got a pull down on Waka as he spins on the bales. Wakataka Kage knows it too. 5-1 Onosato, 3-3 Wakataka Kage. Day 7, Onosato faced Daisho. It was a pretty good touchy-eye. Onosato grabs Daisho by the arms, tries for a grab on the back of his head. Daisho tries to start thrusting, but grabs the back of Onosato, almost pulls him down and past him. Onosato was off balance, heading for the bales, but he recovers as Daisho follows up with a Nodowa neck thrust. Onosato was under serious pressure at the bales. Onosato then escapes to his right, pivots, and as Daisho changes direction to chase, Onosato gets hold of the back of his neck, pulls him down across the ring. That is an escape for the Yokozuna. Look, I tell you what, his sumo is a little bit messy this week. 6-1 Onosato, still there, has a chance to reset and get himself going again. Poor old Daisho back in Magashira 4 at the bottom of the joy. He's having a terrible first week, 1-6. Daisho also lost on day 6 to Korozakura by Sukadashi. Started thrusting at the Ozeki, but Korozakura just chased him and pressured Daisho into stepping out backwards. Korozakura then faced Wakataka Kage on day 7. Easy and fast Takikomi slap down. That was 5 wins for Korozakura. Ayanishiki, he faced Takayasu on day 6. Takayasu goes in hard with a shoulder and it rocked Ayanishiki. Takayasu then saparis at Aonishiki before Aonishiki goes in for a left inside, right outside and drives Takayasu back and over. He just negated that thrusting so fast with that drive into the belt. Really good win there by Aonishiki. Yorikiri 5-1 for Aonishiki, 4-2 for Papayasu. Day 7, Aonishiki, he faced Wakamoto Haru. Wakamoto Haru, as I'll go into the fight with Oho later, but he pulled a really good Uchari on Oho the day before. So during this fight, Wakamoto Haru pretty much got in the same position and tried to backwards pivot throw Uchari Aonishiki again, but Aonishiki was just able to hold him in position as they flew over the bales. Aonishiki got the win, 6-1. Wakamoto Haru having a dog of week 1-6. That fight with Oho, very similar position. Big touchy eye as Wakamoto Haru got on the belt off the touchy eye. Oho got a big double inside body grip and Wakamoto Haru had a double outside belt. He forced him to the bales, but Wakamoto Haru twisted around as they both went into the alley. A big Uchari backwards pivot throw, no mono E. The crowd gave him a little bit of a cheer or clap when they issued him the award. Kirishima, he faced Ichi Yamamoto. Good touchy eye as Ichi Yamamoto goes thrusting on Kirishima. Kirishima tries to get in close, and as they thrust and push each other, Kirishima gets hold of Ichi Yamamoto's arm, drives him to the bales. Ichi Yamamoto steps out backwards as Kirishima is still inside, but funnily enough, the gunbai goes to Ichi Yamamoto. So, of course, mono E, and a very quick mono E it was, overturned. Ichi Yamamoto adjudged to step out first. Just a bit of a mistake by the Gyoji there. Kirishima 5-1 on day 6. Ichi Yamamoto not doing so well, 1-5. Day 7, Kirishima faced Yoshinofuji. Very dangerous Yoshinofuji. It was a good tachiai. Yoshinofuji gives Kirishima good shove off the tachiai. Kirishima gets a hand under Yoshinofuji's arm, and Yoshinofuji gets himself a right outside belt. Kirishima converts to an inside left belt. Yoshinofuji tries to Kubanage head throw him and then tries to pull him over with the arms, but Kirishima defends and holds. Kirishima then just tries to push Yoshinofuji over the bales, but Yoshinofuji is defending Kirishima, pivots to the right, and with his left belt uses his hip to pull Yoshinofuji over at the bales with a bit of a twist. Watanabe win. Overhand belt throw for Kirishima, 6-1. Look, he's in the hunt and he's in pretty good form. Yoshinofuji got an Oshi Tayoshi pushdown win on Ura on day 6, so that loss on day 7 has him at 4-3. So the leaders all on 6-1 are Hoshoryu, Onosato, Aonishiki, Kirishima, Abi and Oshumi. 5-2, Kozukura, Takayasu, Atami Fuji, Oshoma, Fujinokawa. Koroshoho, Shihi, Asaniyama and debutante Asaha Koryu, all on 5-2. 0 wins, well, Hatsuyama. Bottom of the buns, K. He's looking very closely at the Juryo barge. He's stamping his ticket as we speak. So that's it, folks, for day 6 and 7. Nakabi Sunday today with the Emperor attending tonight. Should be some extra effort by the Yokozunas to welcome him to the stadium. Should be very exciting. Everyone will step up, I'm sure. Join me again, folks. Hakioi. Let's learn sumo.